Hello everyone, this is the Mining Geologist and I'm back again with another very exciting and very informative tutorial. It's been a while since we did a QGIS tutorial, so I decided to do this tutorial for you guys, and it is also based on a lot of requests that I get on my email and a lot of questions that I see on the comment section. And the main concern is that a lot of you guys have a simple problem, and you think that it's not worth buying a mining package or a geology package, because we all know these packages, they are very expensive, and some people, they just want that single specific feature that they want to use maybe for a specific project that they're not ready to invest a lot of money or commit to a subscription model. So one of the things is, or one of the people who deal with this kind of stuff is like geologists or engineers or people who work in a quarry. And a lot of them, they have like this simple lithology. It's stratified deposit, and they don't care too much about the grades. Maybe it's like a limestone or something like that, and they know that they're gonna be mining that or extracting that layer for the next, I don't know, like 50 or 60 years, and they don't care too much about the variability of the grades or anything like that. So they want something simple that will maybe say, like, in order to extract this specific, tonnage target, this is the area, and then we're going to move to this one, and then I'm going to move to this one. I know that mining packages, you can do that really easily, but, you know, for such a simple thing, I know people who work in quarries. I've dealt with them in the past, and they know they're not ready to invest in these mining packages unless they own like a lot of quarries and they want to manage their operations. But for the small ones, some of them, they still use like maybe GIS softwares, or they still use like different drone papers. Like everything is still on paper. So this tool could be very helpful for these guys, and it's really useful, and it's very quick to generate some results. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's say that we've got these two raster DEMs that represent oh, sorry, it's not a DEM because this is a thickness layer. So what you see here is basically the thickness of an overburden. And the one in the bottom here is, let's say, our lithology of interest. And this is the main layer that we're gonna extract. It's a very simple model that, so for people who might be asking, how did I create this one? You can either create this one in a geological modeling software and export the thickness layer as a raster layer, or you can also do this in QGIS. Basically, if you have the hanging wall and the footwall as two different DEMs in QGIS or your favorite GIS software, basically it's just you do raster calculator and you do the first one, the hanging wall minus the footwall, and it will generate the thickness layer for you. It's straightforward, but if you guys think that we should make a tutorial about that, let me know. But I know it's something really simple and most of you will be able to do that. So let's say that you end up with this thickness layer, but now what you want is that you've got this production target. I don't know, like let's say 10 million. So over a period of time, of course. So that period of time depends on what you want exactly. It could be like 10 million per year, or it could be like, I don't know, like maybe you're looking at something monthly or daily or whatever, but it's really up to you to decide what is that period of time. So the software, or the plugin in our case, I've called it Simple Planner. And before I just show you how it works, I'm going to show you how this one is going to be, how you can install this one. Basically, this one, for everyone who's going to stop the tutorial right now and going to look in QGIS Simple Planner, you're not going to find that because I created this one, and you will be only able to get it from the links below. So if you get the zip file, all what you can do is you can go to plugin, manage and install. But before that, there are some dependencies, because we know that all of these plugins that they're using Python in the background, and there are some libraries that are not there by default. So to install it, once you download it, you'll have this requirement.txt file. So what you can do is you can go and type in os go4w, this one, and then what you can do is you can do pip install for people who are not into Python. This is how you can install libraries or requirements for a specific script, and then you do -r, and then you can drag and drop that requirement here, and it's going to give you the path, so you don't have to type it by yourself. And then you hit enter, and it is going to install all the requirements or the dependencies for you. So once you do that, you can head over, or you go back to Qgis and you go to plugin, manage and install plugin. And then what you can do from there is you just go to install from zip, you navigate to that zip file that you've downloaded, and then you hit install, and the plugin should be there. Now, where to find the plugin? If you go to plugins and then you'll find here Simple Planner, and sorry, I was lazy to create an icon for that, so you have that default icon there. You can also right click and add it here. The Simple Planner, you can check that one, and it's going to be available in the toolbar. And then once you have that, you'll be able to use it right now, and let me show you how it works. So if I click on the Simple Planner, you'll see that I will have another docked window here that appears, and I really advise you that you don't have any other windows, because this one is going to shrink, and then it's not going to be very dynamic. You'll see some of these might disappear in the bottom. Let's say that you have the toolbox on the top, or maybe, I don't know, like you do the different styling. So make sure that you use this one alone here, or you can actually remove it and put it whatever you want in case you want to see other things in here. So let's dock this one again. Okay, it's not. Yeah, let's put it here. Okay, no problem. Well, you can put it whatever you want. So the way it works is basically you start with an ore thickness layer. So this one could be whatever lithology that you're interested in, or whatever thing that you're going to extract. In this case, we're going to use this one here. You'll see that we have this option, which is add waste, which means that in case you already have a waste thickness layer, like in our case, we have this overburden. So we are also interested in calculating how much waste we have in each one of these periods. So let's go and check that box. And what you'll notice is that we've got this waste thickness, selection tool here, and it's optional. As you can see, that sometimes you don't have this one and you don't care about how much waste you're going to be extracting. So what you can do is you select that layer here, and what you notice also that we have now a waste density. Now, if you're interested only about volumes, all you have to do is to use a density of 1, and then basically the results that you're going to get, even though that the column or the feature, or whatever it's that called, it's going to say tonnage, but that's your volume because you use the density of 1. So let's say that the density here is 2.5 for our hypothetical lithology of interest, and then let's say that the waste is 1.8. So you can put in the whatever density. So currently you cannot use different densities by different areas, but if you guys think that that's something that this would make it a better tool, let me know again in the comments below, or reach out to me through my email and let me know what you want to see in this tool, and I'll make sure to add that as a feature. Then what you have here is the grid for people into the mining softwares, you know that to create like mining blocks, you use like a profile, or some people call it in other packages, they call it a grid. This is basically is going to define a grid that's going to subdivide your area into different, polygons, and then the software is going to look at, like in mining packages, it's going to see a combination of average grade and stuff like that. But in this one, it's going to only look for the volume, or the tonnage in our case. So let's keep that by default to 200 by 200, but you can change this if you want. The grid origin X and Y, this is basically the origin of that grid. If maybe let's say that you're interested in just this area, you can set the origin, which is basically in this plugin. It's the origin in the left bottom corner. So that's the origin of the grid. And if you leave it to 0 by default, it's going to look at the extent of the data, and it's going to put it in the lowest point in the left bottom corner of your data set. So let's keep it 0 there. We don't have to worry about that. And let's click on show grid. So what this one is going to do, it's going to create that grid over your data. So basically what you see here, the grid in gray here, that's the grid that we've created. And the blue thing here is basically all the points inside that main or layer. So this is basically our data set. And now what we're going to do is we need to digitize a path of interest. We're saying, for example, that we know from our drill holes or whatever test that we've done that we need to start here, and then we start moving to the right side and so on. So in mining packages, you can also guide the scheduling with a polygon in some of the mining packages, or you can leave it to like give you the best mining block based on like the grades. But in this case, because it's not a really sophisticated tool, it's just like a simple tool to guide people who don't care about grades. They just care about how much material, how much like tonnage they're going to extract, and what is the area of that. So in that case, let's say that hypothetically we are going to start here. So I'm going to digitize. I'm going to say I'm going to go here, but then I'm going to go in this direction. And I think maybe like, let's say on the edges, we've got like the best material. So I'm going to digitize this one, and then I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go down. And this is maybe going to be the last one that I'm going to be extracting. So basically this is a path, and make sure to click at least once inside each one of these cells, and that's how the software is going to get the direction of mining and where to start and where to end. And then let's say that this is basically our target. So we said it's going to be 10 million. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're okay with that. And let's go, and you have two options here, like to create point layer and to show directions. I'm going to check both of these, and it's going to create some additional layers or shape files that are, in case you want to double check that everything went okay or not, or maybe you want to do the calculation manually, or maybe you need these layers for other stuff. Maybe you want to export them as a CSV and do some graphs and stuff like that. But I'm going to show you each one of these, what kind of information is there exactly. So once you're happy with everything, all you have to do is you click on create plan. Okay, you need to wait now for a few seconds, and it depends on like how big is your raster file, what is the size of the file, and how many pixels you have. But it should be quick. It shouldn't take like hours. It's just a few seconds or maybe a few minutes. So let's wait. All right, so that was finished. You can see when you get this message here, mine plan created successfully. and then you will get these different polygons and point data. I'm gonna show you what it is actually. So let me go and now hide this one because we're done with it, and I'm gonna look at the results in here. So let me move this up a little bit. And then let's go and check what are these things. So as you can see, we started with just two raster layers, but now we have these different uh, polygons. So the polygon of interest, or the one that we're interested in, is this merged period. And then what we can do is we can go to layer, and then we can go to, sorry, not layer, view, panels, and layer styling. And now we've got this one here. So what I usually like to do is I can go with categorized, and then I'm going to select the period, and then I'm going to go to here and do random colors and do classify. And now you can see that we've got these different colors for the different periods. And now let's go and do label, and I want to check the number of the period. If you remember, guys, we went like 1 to 2. Maybe I can show the grid here, and then if I go to here and then maybe set the color, let me go to here and set the color to be transparent. If you guys remember, we went like 1 in this direction, and then we went all the way down, and then we went up, and then we moved to the left, and then we went down, and that's exactly what we did. So you see, like, this is the first period, and this is the second one, and then we move to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and 11. And basically, because the thickness is variable, that's why you have like different shapes. But if you click on one of these, like, let me select it first. Let me select this one. And if I click on this one, you can see that the total tonnage is almost, and of course we cannot put it like a perfect number like 10 million, but you can see that the tonnage there is 10 million for each one of these periods. And I think the last one should be less than that, because you cannot fit that 10 million inside the last period. But this shows you, like, if you mine this area, this exact area, you will get that 10 million target. And that's why I said that it depends on like what kind of periods you're looking for. So let's say if you want to look at like daily extraction, all you have to do is to set that daily tonnage target, and it's going to divide this to like daily polygons, and you can use that maybe as a guide. And the other thing that you notice is that because we've checked that we have a waste layer, you can see now for each one of these period, it is also calculating the waste tonnage for that specific period. So now you can also easily create a new attribute field, and you can calculate the ratio for that specific period. And then you can play around with different, paths if you want. So if you go back to this one, you can easily, let me hide these for a second. You can easily show the grid again, and then start digitizing, and then create a plan. So make sure if you want to digitize something new to click show grid. So that one is going to show the grid again without the digitized points, and it's going to show you just the points, and then you can digitize again the grid. So let's take a look now at some of the other things that were generated. Basically, this is the grid. You can see that we ended up with covering most of our area of interest, but you can play around with the grid size. So this one is 200 by 200. Maybe you want like to slice it on the horizontal side only. So what you can do is you can set a really high I think Y or X value, and then you keep maybe 200 on the other one, and this one is going to create these different bands that you will be extracting one one of them each time. So the other thing other than the grid is that you have these waste points. So what are these? Basically, it's something that you can do in QGIS. It's the different pixels converted to points, and then for each point it's you've got like the tonnage and also the period. So in case you're interested in these points, I don't know, maybe you want to extract them and save them in a CSV file. Let's take a look at the attributes. You can see that for each one of these points, you have the period, you have the volume, you have the density, you have the pixel size, and you have the thickness and the waste tonnage. So these could be also very helpful. You have also the same thing for the ore body or lithology of interest, which is this one. And you have another useful file. Maybe this one is for visualization. I called that one excavation direction, and when you load this one, it's going to show you some points. But let me show you what I use, how I use these points. So if I go to layer styling panel again, and let me hide this one, and if I select the excavation direction, so the first thing that I do is I select this simple marker and I change that to an arrow. And let me make this a little bit bigger, maybe 8. And then what I can do is I can go to the rotation, and you will see that in this layer we've got something called azimuth. So the azimuth is basically that calculated direction of mining. So now if I make this one maybe, I don't know, like black, and change the transparency, you can see now it shows us the direction of mining. So we start from here and then we move in this direction, even though that if you don't digitize it like accurately, maybe if you go from here and you click here, the azimuth is going to be rounded to the nearest direction. So you can see that we've got these, we go down and then we move here and then we move up. So let me select that one. You can see that, and it follows that the same number of periods, and then we end up here. So this one could be, maybe you want to plot this in like a map or something. You can also do that and show it in your report or whatever, in your presentation or whatever. This one shows like how you decided to do that, in case maybe you cleared that digitized path, but you wanted something that that shows what you did, and this is basically how it was digitized. So that's the tool. It's really simple, but it's very useful, and especially, like I said, for small queries or people who don't want to pay a lot of money for a simple feature like this one. This tool is for you, and you will be able to download or check the download options for this tool. You'll find them in the link below. People who are already in my Patreon page already have access to this one, and there is an instruction, like a detailed instruction, how to use this tool. And please check out the links below, or it might be shown somewhere here, the different options where you can get this one from. And I hope it was informative, and let me know in the comments below what kind of things you want to see in this tool, or maybe if you have other ideas for simpler tools that I can create for you guys. And with that being said, see you on the next one. He's the mining geologist, here to show you all the things that you might have missed. He's got plenty of software tips and tricks for your geoscience lives. So get your fix of mineral exploration and mining engineering information, and check the links, leave a like, and please subscribe.